Otherwise, I'm just going to talk and keep going until he cuts in. Here we go. So it's me, Bob Rumba. Today I'm going to just show you all the Disney animation cells and talk a little bit about each one. So yeah, Roger Rabbit's the first one. I'm going to tip back so he can bring this camera in and get in here easier because it's next to my couch. So this Roger Rabbit actually was done so that it's a succession of cells. So they cut out a bunch in the middle, and then what I did was I had a choice. It was at a gallery where I had a choice of the cells that came in a row, and a lot of them, as you know, there's like it goes 24 second cells a second. So what happens is I picked out ones further down so you could see him in a succession of how he was getting ready to fight, how he felt about it, and everything. That's from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Okay, then we're going to go up one. Let's get my thing here, my pointer. This is Scrooge McDuck from Mickey Mouse: A Christmas Carol, where he plays, guess what, Scrooge. Yeah. So Alan Young did that voice. Alan Young was the owner of Mr. Ed. And he was originally from Scotland, so he could do the best Scottish accent ever because he said he worked hard to drop that accent when he came back here. He also, this also was the first Mickey Mouse cartoon made in like 30 years. They hadn't made one in 30 years when this came out. And it's not a long film. It's like a 20-minute one. So, but it's pretty cool. I think it's well done. Okay, let's go next to this one. We going up? Let's go next to that. Look, Jiminy Cricket. Now, I got this from a guy who was a juggler, and he got that at Disney World when he was a kid. They used to give these away. They didn't really give them away. I think they sold them for a few bucks, like next to nothing. Can you see it?
It has a giant glare spot, and I can't get rid of it.
Well, if you can't get rid of the giant glare spot, then it's up to you. You can't. But
the only way to get rid of it is come back to you.
Okay. Well, anyway, that Jiminy Cricket cell is, I think the background on it is a laser thing that we explained to you guys before, which they used to do laser backgrounds, which is really a copy of the real background. It's done on a copy machine. So they called it a laser background to make it sound better on all cells that they put out if it wasn't an original background cell. So a background for the cell. So we think this background is from 101 Dalmatians. That's why he's standing in the snow. They didn't have any feet for him. They didn't have his feet because they were probably shooting that for television. So they cut it off. So they didn't need him. But if you're going to use it as a cell, what are you going to do? So that's what they did. This guy needed money, so I paid him for it so he could buy food. He was a really good guy, and it was cool to have this. It's original from the Mickey Mouse Club. I'm no fool, no siree. I'm gonna live to be 103. Dun, 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 for you and me, because I'm no fool. Anyway, that's what it's from, Mickey Mouse Club. All right, and then we're gonna go up one to what, George, up here to Jose Carioca. Can you get up there? George's gonna die doing this.
Yeah, we can see it. That's great.
Jose Carioca is from the we're three caballeros, we gay caballeros, we are birds of a feather. That's when Disney was trying to keep in good with South America. They were the link for the United States and South America, and Jose Carioca was on there with he was on there with let me think, Donald Duck, and who's from America. He's from South America, and then Pancho the rooster, who was from Mexico. So it was supposed to help join all the countries together by doing these cartoons, and they did more than one. And then next to that, I hope you can get to there and get around this light. Let me move the light.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
That is from the Black Cauldron, and that character's voice was done by John Biner, and the Black Cauldron was the first full-length feature Disney movie that came out that wasn't a musical, and because it wasn't a musical and people were used to it, it didn't do really well. I don't know what it's doing now. It's an interesting film to look at, the Black Cauldron. If you have a chance, go on YouTube and look it up, watch the trailer or whatever, and see what you think. Okay, now we're gonna go all the way to the top.
Are we?
Are we? I hope my brother can hold up holding this tripod. It's pretty rough.
I gotta stand on the couch.
Okay, stand on the couch. All the way up there is
Bob,
Are you ready, Bob?
Catherine Paleo said, "Hi, Bob."
nice. That is from The Great Mouse Detective.
Yes.
That's down on the waterfront where they draw the octopus, so he looks sort of like Jimmy Durante, and he juggles and everything on the waterfront. It's kind of cool. And then next to that is still from The Great Mouse Detective, and that's Basil the mouse. That's like Sherlock Holmes. So that's this whole set here. We're gonna try to come down, and you can see me. My brother's gonna die doing this. I know.
I'm not gonna drop it on your face.
We're used to using. I'm trying to help you keep it steady. We're used to doing this so that you can zoom in, but with this new streaming thing, so a zillion people can see, you can't make it closer like you can when you do just go Facebook. You could just widen it somewhat with your fingers and back when you're on your phone, but the real way to do this would be actually to have a real camera, but that costs money.
I'm trying to make sure, Bob. I'm trying to make sure that if I see any comments or questions, that I'm reading them off. I don't know if everything's just being slow where I am, or if no one's commenting. But either way, I'll let you know if we get any questions.
Yeah, Catherine I know for a long time, and she was the one that was going to watch this with her niece and nephew. So she must be getting She must be getting it on Facebook Live. So it must have patched in correctly. Correct? I think.
Yeah, it's on Facebook Live. It's on my Facebook, your Facebook, and a few of the event profiles, world events, and a few other things. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to get up here and see if we can get into these last few. We can't.
All right. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know the comments are syncing, so we're good on that.
Okay. Cool.
Let me see
Perfect.
the back of that jacket.
What's that?
Back of your jacket. Turn around.
I'll see the back of my jacket. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to be, for the day.
Okay.
Yeah. These Mickey things came from Doug McKnight's father's jacket that he had that was a Disney jacket. And it was kind of bigger than me and beat up. So I had this taken to a regular store, a regular, what do you call it? A regular dry cleaners. And I bought this hoodie and then he put them on there. So I would have something in my size and it wasn't beat up. We starting up with Ludwig von Drake.
Yep.
Ludwig von Drake is also Donald Duck's uncle, just like Uncle Scrooge is, but he's the scientist that he used to be on Wonderful World of Disney. You remember that? Wonderful World of Disney. And he had a German accent, and he was done by Paul Frees, and Paul Frees is the guy that did the voice for The Haunted Mansion. He did movies. He was the voice of The Millionaire. He was, what was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. He also did that.
Yeah, kids love that.
So,
Yeah,
Bob,
well,
Ken Simpson said, "Where did you obtain all these cells from, Bob?"
they all came from different places. like you start with the Roger Rabbit that came from Stay Tuned Gallery that was in Chicago. The the one from the Mickey Mouse Club of Jiminy Cricket that came, like I said, from a guy who did a show with who was a juggler and did ropes and other things like that. Very, very talented guy. More physical humor, though. The Scrooge McDuck one came from Gallery Lanesburg. They're no longer in existence. That was in Iowa, actually. So most of my sales actually came from either Stay Tuned Gallery or Gallery Lanesburg. Those two people were galleries are the ones I dealt with the most.
But it's like
the Googie one from the Black Cauldron, that came from a place in Cleveland. I was doing a show in Cleveland, and they had all these cells, and I had seen them all, and they were mostly limited editions. There weren't production cells. And they said to the guy, "Can I go in this back room?" It's a famous, go to the back room and get the spinach for peasy, you know. It's the, can I go to the back room where the good stuff's in the back? And they're like, "Oh yeah, you can go back there." So I go, and I found that cell from the Black Cauldron there, and I got it for next to nothing. It wasn't framed or anything, and the guy, nobody knew what it was from really. So I got it from there. I don't know why they have stuff like that. Probably because they get it for cheap and they go, "Oh, it's Disney." They don't pay attention. The Jose Carioca came from, I don't remember. That was Stay Tuned or I think it was Stay Tuned actually. And then what else we got?
But Bob, it's like what you told
two
me.
at the top were Gallery Landsberg. So
it's like what you told me, Bob. Where
galleries. What?
It's like what you told me, Bob, where you weren't even intending to collect them, but you just buy them here and there, and then you realize that you have this plethora of cells.
Yeah, you start out like by getting that one I told you about yesterday. That was by Jerry from Tom and Jerry, and I thought I'll just have this one. But the day I went into Robert Civic's office that was in Chicago, he had animation cells, and I said, "Wow, you have a lot of these. I love these." And he's like, "Bob, you should just get these. You could buy them. You deserve them more than I do. You have you do voices and everything else. You should do this." And I'm like, "Okay." So that's kind of how it happened, really. So let's go up to the next one. What do you think?
Switch with me.
Switch with you? Switch places?
Yes. More.
Okay. We're going up. This is harder on him than it was the other way.
Hey, Bob, Catherine said it's a comedy routine. I love it.
It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it. My brother says that he's dying. But that's goofy.
And maybe not to your brother.
That's Goofy. That's signed by Bill Farmer. Bill Farmer's the voice of Goofy now. And that's from the Mickey Mouse Prince and the Pauper. And they sing my favorite song, which is gosh, I want a suckling pig to make my tummy big.
I want a pizza pie. I'm just a little guy. Oh boy.
Anyway, that's that one. Gosh, yeah. I thought you wanted the voice while you're looking at Goofy. Anyway, the next one is actually from the Academy Awards. I think it was Tom Selleck was on the Academy Awards presenting an award, and he's met by Mickey and Donald. And it's pretty cool, but I don't know if anybody remembers watching the Academy Awards when that was on there, when they used to have animation characters come on that people could watch at home, but the people at the Academy Awards don't see them. You just see them on your television at home. But yeah, it's kind of cool to have. And the guy that was the animator on that, who signed that in the corner there, also worked on The Little Mermaid. I think Tarzan also. So,
Bob, they're wanting you to do more impressions of the cells that you show.
oh, so.
Hi, Donald. Boy. Ha.
Yeah, there's Donald. Anyway, I forget to do them. And then you got one
Hi,
more
Mike.
here.
Welcome.
What's that?
Mike Palmer just joined the live stream.
That's nice. That's cool. This is from, do you remember, I told you the last cell ever made, the really last one made for Disney for full-length feature was Little Mermaid, and I was right. But this is from Aladdin, and this is the television series, and the genie turns into Jiminy Cricket. And so it's kind of cool to have that. So it's the animated cell of the genie and Iago both, you know, done by Gilbert Gottfried. And then that time the genie was done by Dan Castellanos from Chicago, you know, who does Homer Simpson. Dope. So anyway, that's that. So Peasy does a really good Gilbert. You should have Peasy do Gilbert for you the next time. All right, I'm going to end up with this, and then we're pretty much there. We went through these pretty quick with your help, even though my brother's going to die because he's holding the whole tripod thing that's really lengthy. He should have this little tiny thing probably. He said it's saying to back up, so.
I'm stuck here.
Okay, I can back up, back up, back up. I don't know what's behind me, all kinds of junk, probably.
There's Gumby.
Huh?
It's not Gumby on the floor. Okay.
I knocked Gumby on the floor?
I did. Sorry.
Oh, okay. See, can you see this, Landon?
Yeah, we can see it.
Do you know what it is?
I know it's a statue of Goofy. I don't. What is it, like a nutcracker or something?
It is a nutcracker.
Oh,
You know that ventriloquism came, one of the first people to do that was using the nutcracker. That's how hard vent figures were originally made.
I did not know that.
Started with nutcrackers. And watch, I'll show you. Gosh, hi everybody. Yep. So, yep. So it's kind of cool, yeah. So,
where'd you get him?
Disney World.
Oh,
actually.
Cool.
Yep.
What location? Orlando or California?
I think it was Disney World is in Orlando.
That's right.
Disneyland is in California. So if I say Disney World, I usually try to mean the one in Florida. Most people just say now Disney World all the time, no matter where they are, but there's Disneyland. That's how you're supposed to be able to tell the difference.
Right.
I think they call it Disney World because it's bigger than the one in California.
Can we kind of walk in and zoom on that? Because it's a really neat piece.
Yeah, sure.
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you could.
Show the side profile of the nutcracker. Really.
Show the what?
The side profile. Turn it.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Now you can see the eyes a little bit better. Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you can make his mouth move too, and you can see that. That's really.
Well, here's at the bottom. If you look at the bottom, that's where the thing is that makes it go up and down. But
yeah,
I don't know. He looks fragile. I don't know if I would try to actually crack nuts with it. It might work, but I think he might break his teeth.
Yeah.
Gosh, well, I hate that. Yeah. Anyway, it's kind of cool though. I just liked it. I never saw another nutcracker like that. You show his feet? Did you do his feet? That's why I was holding it up.
I got his whole
Hey, Bob, Ken.
Yep.
We have a new comment from Ken Simpson, and he said, "Have you ever noticed how Goofy sounds uncannily like Mortimer Schnurr?"
Yeah, there is a difference though. But yeah.
Do you do Mortimer? Can you do a Mortimer?
Let me think, because it is close. So your Goofy is gorge high. So Mortimer is more like, I don't know. Nope. Cheeseburger. No, I can't hit it now.
It sounds to me like
it's from doing this. It's hard to hit. It's more like that bird, that buzzard, and beaky buzzard in.
But what it seems like is
looking for a baby bumblebee. It's more like that one.
It seems like Goofy has more of a bounce in his voice than Mortimer does.
Yeah, he does. Mortimer stays dumb and just keeps it. Where Goofy might be goofy, but he's not, and he's a little bit whacked, but he's not totally stupid. Like he knows things too. So
sure.
Oh yeah, he can drive and everything. You wonder if Mortimer drives. I don't know. I don't think you know. So, but yeah. So anyway, That's kind of cool. I'm gonna set him back up.
Mike Palma asked, does your brother do impressions too?
He doesn't, but he won't usually do them for anybody. He does a really good Norm McDonald, but he can't do them because he'll probably swear, because Norm always swears. And I don't know who's watching this, and we don't want to get kicked off all the Facebook pages for swearing. So,
Yeah.
right. Anyway, I think that's about it for today. We started early setting up, and I went through a bunch of stuff the last time I was on. We stopped at Roger Rabbit the last time, so we did through Warner Brothers up into this last Roger Rabbit, and I had another one on this other wall. So I think that's about it for today, and we'll see how this works with it going on all these different places.
Sure.
What do you think?
I think it's great. We're getting comments from World Events, from your Facebook page, so it's doing well.
We get comments. We don't have any questions, so before we sign off.
Nope, no questions.
George says no questions because he's tired of holding the tripod.
I'm not seeing any more questions.
Okay. Well, thanks for helping me today, Landon. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
And this is kind of cool with the old setup with going to all these different places instead of me just doing Facebook Live, and it's just me, my brother, and that's it. So even though it's harder to Zoom on this thing, so maybe they'll work on that next. Who knows? Or is it possible, should you shoot these? I wonder if it's a thing to shoot these and then put them up and then come back and how do you say it? Come back and show them and then make comments with everybody. That would be cool to be able to do that, but I don't know how you would do it. You'd have to film it and then rebroadcast it somehow and be on with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Mike Palma just said, "What a great inside look into all these cartoons and characters." It's really amazing. I didn't realize you had the collection you had, but you've got a range of things in your cell collection, and in your of sketches too. It's really super neat.
So what we're gonna do is in the next time I come on, we'll go to the other room and we'll show like Rocky and Bullwinkle and other Cels, but I have ones that are all celebrities. I think they would really, really like that. So it's
cool.
All celebrities on, from Paul Landon and everybody who was either in Scooby-Doo and was the guest star or did their own cartoon, like The Incredible Mr. Limpet or any of that. So that'll be neat too.
Yeah.
But we'll do that next time because today is the Disney day and it's too much. And we did Disney and Warner Brothers last week. Yep.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, do you have any closing remarks for our audience?
No, I'll just say bye to you, and then I love everybody, and I hope that you're having a great time. And this will be on again later, so you can watch again later and make more comments. And then you also can, what's the other thing?
Tune into the next one, which will be
next Monday at 2:00.
Next Monday at 2:00. All right.
There you go. And our lives will be complete.
Perfect.
It will be fabulous, My goodness. And I worked for Disney too. I was in Mary Poppins, and I was the Mad Hatter, and Babes in Toyland. So
they love that. They love it when you do impressions.
it's funny that there was a lady that hired me a while back just because I did that voice, and she thought it was actually him. She's like, "Gee, I thought he'd be a lot older," and I go, "I'm not him. I know you think I'm him, but I'm not him." So that's Edwin. Great. Yeah. Okay. Bye, everybody. Stay healthy. Keep indoors or whatever you're doing.
We'll see you next Monday.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Adios.
Bye.